So I have these scrap wood pieces took off from somewhere some days ago. I want to make a saw guide. So what I'm going to do is I took this board. I'm going to cut it. This board has red edges. That means this is the factory cut. So I'll rely on the factory cut to be a straight one, since I only have a hand saw, a circular saw. So that's the only way I can get, and then you can see this one is not straight for sure. So what I want to do is use this as a baseboard, use this on top of it, and then I can use this to be my support for my guide. It's going to be my guide to move here. Also what I'm going to do is cut this one and put it underneath it, and then put dowels here, so I have a space for the wood which I want to cut. So this will become like a saw for me, table saw for me. So I'm going to get started on this one. I'm going to cut this straight. This is not a straight edge. I'll use this one. I can use this edge as a guide first to cut this one, because this is straight for sure. This is factory cut. So I'll get a straight cut. So let's get to it. So while looking in the garage, I did find another long bar which is factory cut, so I can actually use this to make my cut straight. I also found a wood plank, but it was not long enough. I can always do it in pieces, but I can use this one. This one is better, so I can use this. And while this is a full 8 length plank, I can use it somewhere else, but also I can actually just nail this one in and use this as my nail guide, right? So this will support me while I'm cutting it. So that's another way. If you have a stud like this lying around, you can use that, or you can use an existing one. And what I'm going to do is measure 6 inches here, put a sign with a pencil, measure 6 inches there, put a sign with a pencil, put this straight, and then draw a line and then cut it along. Okay. So I use this itself as a saw guide. I cut it straight, so I have this saw guide here. But now when I put something here which is thicker than this, which can be thicker than this, so I want to keep a space and margin so I don't cut the surfaces beyond it. So what I did is, the extra I had, I cut a small piece of that, put 3 of them underneath it, and I'm going to do it in the middle. So I have the cutting board here, so even if my blade goes down, I'm not damaging my actual deck or whatever I'm working on. So what I'm going to do is put 3-4 of them here, and then I'm going to use the nail gun to nail them, and then this will stay here. So that's our saw guide. Our saw ready. So our saw guide is ready. I've put nails here, I've put nails there. It's pretty sturdy, it doesn't move. To check, what I did is, you put your blade just where the cut is, and then see here the distance. You shouldn't have any distance. That's just a check. Anytime you get a check, anytime you get a distance, that means your board is not straight cut from here. So I would just do another round of cutting it. Other thing you'll notice is I've kept a distance here. I'm doing shiplaps. So I have a shiplap which will be 5.5 inch wide, and I'll need to cut it from in between because there's corners and windows. So what I want to happen is the piece will go inside it, and I can cut it from middle where I want it to be. So that's why I left a space. If you have a thicker wood, you probably want to leave a more space here. How I left the space is, has put this leftover piece in between, and it ends still here. So I have this much space, and this is more than enough for my purpose. This is almost 4 inches. I have a 5.5 inch of shiplap. I'll probably not need to cut more than that. So what I'll do is I'll start cutting. So saw guide is ready. We're going to use this to continue our shiplap installation. So I just wanted to show you why I left the space in. So see, I have this one. I need to cut it from almost the middle. So what I can do is now put it under it, and then I will have a straight line using my saw guide. So the reason why I left a space in between